Hello, aspiring call center agent. This is Nayumi Cee once again. For today's topic, as you can see, we'll talk about 60 call center terminologies or jargons you should know as a call center agent. So, since 60 words are really a lot of words, I'll create part 2 of this video. So, I'll give you 30 terminologies in this one, and then the remaining will be included in part 2. So make sure to subscribe so you won't miss it if you're interested. And yeah, if you are a call center agent, call center newbie, or an aspiring call center agent, you should know about these terminologies because these are the ones that you will be encountering every single day working as a call center agent. Right, so without further ado, let's get started. Like the first one is my favorite. Char. So this is like Dsat or Vsat or yes or no in some other companies. So Dsat means dissatisfied or dissatisfaction survey. Vsat means very satisfied survey. So this is mainly a rating from the customer or a survey from the customer. For example, the customer called the company you're working with, and then the call ended already. Right after the call, there will be an automated survey that will be sent to the customer in the form of either email, text message, or like a live phone call, really, from the automated system itself. And for DSAT, this is like in a scale of 0 to 10, how satisfied is the customer? So that's 0 to 7, that is DSAT. 8 is neutral. 9 to 10 is Vsat, which is very satisfied survey. So that's when the customer is happy, the customer's issue was resolved, and he or she is satisfied, really. Then yes or no, mainly I've experienced this when I was in retail. So yes, the question is, how's my driving, or did I resolve the issue? Yes or no. That's just it. So you really have to resolve the issue to avoid generating no's, right? But yes, I can talk more about this in a later video. Next is ghost call. So yes, we do receive ghost call, and this is mainly when a call came in and then no one is speaking on the other line. It's not because of Junjun. I don't know, but yeah, it's a ghost call that we call. For example, you have to wait 30 seconds to at least 30 seconds to 1 minute, and then if no one is still speaking on the other line, then you have to tell your ghost spiel. So and then release the call. So it is how it works. Like here's the sample of ghost spiel. So hello, are you still there? All right. Since no one's still speaking on the other line, I'll be disconnecting this call now. And if you want further assistance regarding your account, please don't hesitate to give us a call back at any time. Or you may say, I will call you back to make sure I'll be able to further assist you if you want to extend further help, right? So, and then you may disconnect the call, document the account, and then, yeah, you may call back if you wish. Number 3, you have to do callbacks to avoid repeat calls, right? Because it will affect your score. Number 3 is warm transfer or cold transfer. So this is applied when a call came in, and for example, you're a billing agent, and then the customer's concern is tech related. So his modem is not working. So you may have to get him over to our intranet department, which is a technical department. And to do that, you have to do either warm transfer or cold transfer. Warm transfer is when you have to talk to the succeeding agent, what the customer's name is he fully verified, a brief discussion of the issue, gave him the service address or the account number. Whereas for cold transfer, you don't need to do anything. You just have to dial the number for that specific department and let the customer wait on queue until someone from that department picks up the call and help him. Right? That's basically it. And then we also have what we call CSR or TSR. This is mainly an acronym for customer service representative, just like a billing agent, a retail agent. Those are customer service agent. Of course, TSR means technical service representative. They are also account associates or an agent, just like technical, but they handle technical concerns like activation of modem, activation of certain device or equipment, troubleshooting of computer, modem, and others. So it involves some sort of technical side or stuff. And then number 5 would be escalate or de-escalate. So escalate is when you have to have the issue corrected. For example, the customer is calling, he or she is giving feedback towards the fraudulent call he or she received. So now what you have to do is to, of course, gather all of the information that the customer can present regarding the issue, and you have to escalate that to another department. You have to make a report if you can document the account if you can, and you can also get in touch the customer with your security assurance department if you have that in your company. All right, so that's mainly trying to resolve a known issue. Or yeah. Next is de-escalate. So this typically happens when, for example, the customer is upset. He is looking to speak with a manager or a supervisor. And if you know for yourself that you can handle the situation, that you can resolve the issue without letting him talk to your supervisor, then what you have to do is to de-escalate. And to do that, you have to say spiels like, all right, Mr. Customer, I understand that you wanted to speak with my supervisor. As a customer, you have a right to speak with him. But I feel like I have the capability to help you with that. And if you will give me a chance to help you with this, I'll certainly do the best I can to help you. So, and then if the customer agreed to you and he is confident that you can resolve the issue, then he'd say yes. And so you were able to successfully de-escalate the situation, and you don't have to do soup call, which we'll talk about that later. Alright, now let's talk about credit or debit. So this typically happens in every single company, of course, especially in the US. So credit, I'll take it this way. When a customer is asking for a credit, this is mainly because of an inconvenience or there is something wrong that happened in their service. For example, there is an outage in the area for about 2 to 3 days. They weren't able to use your cable or internet service properly. And so what you have to do is to make an adjustment on the account based on those times that the customer weren't able to use their services. So that is credit. And money coming from the company that goes back to the customer. Whereas debit is, for example, the customer owes us a balance of $100 and then he pays for it, and he is using his credit card, for example, or his debit card, for example, and that debit card has his personal money in there, and it will be deducted. Like the $100 will be deducted from that particular account of him that goes to the company. So that's his payment. It's money taken from his account. So that's also customers' personal money. Alright, number 7 is tenured or newbie. So tenured, that's if you are an agent with an experience of 6 months and above. So you're already considered as tenured. Newbie are those, of course, just like you, newbies, freshers, beginners, never had a call center experience before. Yeah, that's it. And then number 7, UPS or USPS. So these are like the famous delivery companies in the US. UPS means United Parcel Service. USPS means United States Postal Service. So this is mainly for, I think every company is connected to these companies. They are like, they deliver parcels. They're like what do you call this? They're like Lala Move or Grab here in the Philippines, right? Or LBC. Yeah, something like that. And if you're a retail agent, you most of the time get to speak to UPS agents or USPS agents. Right. Then soft phone or hard phone. So this is a tool that we use in BPO, of course. So soft phone, this is like a tool wherein it's already built in your computer. You just have to click it and you'll be able to transfer the customer to another department, toggle your lunch, your break, training, and anything like that. Whereas for hard phone, it's like you have a physical device with you. Like it looks like a telephone, something like that. So it's called Avail most of the time. So yep, that's hard phone, right? And then queuing or avail. Queuing is a term that I don't want to hear, or most agents don't want to hear, because yes, we take in calls, but we don't really like taking in calls. If you know what I mean. So queuing basically means that um there are a lot of people or customers calling the company because of a certain problem or issue that needs to be resolved. For example, you as an agent, after you take in the first call, after 1 second or even less than a second, there's another call already. And we call that, oh my gosh, queuing na naman. Like there's a lot of customers waiting on the line to seek an assistance. And avail, this means that there are few customers calling us and we are happy when this happens. Mainly this happens when it's holiday in the US. For example, it's Independence Day in the US, so holiday. A few people are talking. Like there's an average wait time. No, I think we have an avail time of like 15 minutes to 30 minutes, or sometimes even an hour. You know, and then avail is another term, by the way. For example, you just you have to start the work and you have to go on avail, meaning you have to, like, meaning you're ready to take in calls or to receive calls already. All right. If your TL would say go on avail, meaning you have to toggle available. All right, that's it. And this is a long video. Hope you're still with me until this time. Alright, so IVR. This is what we call interactive voice response, or what we call the automated system. So in the company I'm working with, they use this like automated system, automated payment system, and then before the customer gets to talk to us, they have to go through the automated system, which most of customers feel upset because it's like a robot, and they really wanted to speak to human beings, but they can't because of that robot, and they're so happy once they get to talk to us live agents, and most of them are like upset because it takes them like 10 minutes, 30 minutes, or even 40 minutes before they can talk to us, and according to them that's a waste of time. But yes, automated voice response is like it's when, for example, in your cell phone, for example, you have you're calling someone and then no one's responding, and then the operator would say, the number you have dialed is unattended or out of coverage area. Please try your call later. Something like that. That's an automated system, or an IVR, right? So that's how it goes. Number 11 is debit card. So I've talked about this. So this is a card that is used by the customer, of course. It came from the bank, and this is the card where the customer can use to store his personal money. And this is also like sort of a savings account, but you can use this in paying bills, groceries, and anything like that. So that's a debit card, customer's personal money. Whereas credit card, this is like a money owed to the bank. Like you have a specific credit limit, and then you also have a specific date when to pay for the amount you owed. Alright, so that's it. Credit card. This is not the money that the customer owns personally. This is a money that comes from the credit card company itself, right? Right. Number 12 is ACW. So ACW is an acronym for after call work. So this is when um, the call just ended, and then you have to do tasks like documenting the account, sending in emails to the customer, and you're given at least 30 seconds to 1 minute to do that. In our end, it's just 30 seconds. So you have to take down notes already while you're on the call. Right, number 13 is AHT, or what we call the average handling time. So this is the like a way for us to measure how long did we take in the call. Was it a short call or a long call? Was it, if it's over 10 minutes call, then that is considered a long call, and that means that your AHT is high. So the lower the average handling time, the better, because meaning you are efficient and you take care of customers' concern as quickly as possible. Number 14 is conference call. So conference call happens when, for example, you do a warm transfer, and then before you hung up the call, you have to introduce the customer to the succeeding agent. And so what you have to do is to do conference call. So you, the agent, and the customer are both on the line, hearing each other talking. That's a conference call. 15, that's call writing. Call writing means that if you will to transfer the customer to another department, and then after you transfer the customer to the other department, you remain silent on the line, you listen to their conversation. That is call writing, which you shouldn't do because this is punishable. And yeah, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't listen. Like right after you transfer the call, you should disconnect the call and don't stay on the line with them. Okay, number 16 is call release. So this is basically when you disconnected the call intentionally or unintentionally. So if it is an intentional release of call, for example, the customer is being rude to you and so you disconnected the call, it may be punishable if you wouldn't give the customer warning because of his profanity. And then, or call release, it's when the call ended already and you really have to disconnect the call, or like the customer's concern is like all good, so you really have to release the call to take in another call. 17 would be call avoidance. Call avoidance means that you are, for example, you're a billing agent, the customer is calling about his bill, but what you did was connect him over to Spanish department for technical. So that's call avoidance because that is your scope of support. The person you're talking to is an American. He doesn't speak Spanish, but you transferred him over to technical department for Spanish. So that's call avoidance. You are giving your responsibility to another person. Yeah, right. This is also punishable and it's subject for dismissal most of the time. 18 is inbound call or outbound call. So inbound call happens when it's the customer. No, yeah, it is the customer who's calling the company to seek an assistance, whereas outbound call is when the agent is the one who's calling the customer to offer them services. Or this is mainly for a sales agent. Or we'd also do outbound call even if we are an inbound agent. If, for example, the call get disconnected by accident and we have to give them a call back, or if the customer is asking for a follow-up call, right? So yeah. Number 19 is dead air. So dead air is like total silence for 10 seconds and above. So this is mainly you not talking on the other line for 10 seconds and above. And then 20, that is rude or irate. So this is like the attitude of most of our customers. So they're either rude or irate because of a certain situation, but as I told you, just have to do the best you can to help them, and so they'll be happy campers. 21 would be knowledge base. So in call center companies, they do have a lot of processes, and you wouldn't put it in your mind, of course, especially if you're a newbie, the entire time. So we have a tool wherein we can check what's the process regarding refund, anything like that. So this is where we get ideas, and this is supposedly your best friend. So make knowledge base your best friend, so you don't ask each time to your supervisor or to your SME regarding the process. Number 22 is Spiel. So this is mainly the phrases or the sentences you tell your customer each time they call. Spiel is, for example, "Hi, thank you for calling ABC company. This is Nayumi. How can I help?" So that's a sample of spiel. Number 23 is granny. So this is also another type of a customer, which is an old one. Yeah, granny. So we have to give way to them, like speak clearly, as loud as possible, and follow their pacing. Number 24 is wave. So we call it wave when we are trainings, for example, in a specific team. We're a group of like 15 to 25 people, and then we call it wave. In my case, I think I was 148A before, like wave 148A, something like that. So that's just how you call it. 25 is team. Yeah, team, a group of people that includes your team leader, your QA, and the rest of your account associates. Of the account associates. Walkthrough. This is when the customer would like to let you assist them in like processing their order, or placing their order online. They would want you to walk them through the process. 27 is professional installation. So this is mainly for technical, also for telco accounts. So if the customer no if the customer requested for a technician appointment to come to their house, fix their wirings, and hook up their cable or their modems, then we do professional installation, and it comes with a charge, of course, of at least around $39.99 to $100. Trouble call is this is when the customer called, and this is also for telco account, or specifically technical department. This is when the customer will call because their modem is not working, and then the agent on the other line would do troubleshooting, like basic troubleshooting stuffs, but then they weren't able to resolve the issue. So what the agent will do is to set up technician to come over and help them resolve the problem. So that's trouble call. Number 29 is refund or replacement. So this is the common process that we do in retail. So if the customer received an incorrect size of dress, for example, then she will just return it back to us, and then would ask for refund or replacement of another dress, right? And then 30 is soup call. So which of course our team leader doesn't really like most of the time, but they do because it's part of their job. So this is mainly when, yes, the customer is upset and the customer wants someone higher than you to help them, as fix their concerns. So that's the supervisory call. Alright, so yeah, that would be it. I hope you've learned something from this video. If you do, please give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you again in my next one. Bye!